Hello, how's it going? Yeah, it was some crazy stuff being said last night. I had to make my wife turn it off. I was getting, I don't want to use the word sick, but your blood just boils after a while. That is, let me see. Stilt C. Stilt C. Yeah, it was a reversed auction. Yeah, who had the best night? Yeah, what's up, taxpayer city folk gardening? Love gardening, by the way. I'm just not good at it. I think the hardest thing about gardening is learning how to make the soil. And it's not like buying soil or digging a ditch and throwing your seeds in it. It's more to it. I need to learn Spanish before the next debate. Yeah, Nicholas Pullen, it's a joke. It truly is. Um, and it goes to show where our country's going. It really is. You know, they're spreading such lies, and people are programmed to believe everything that is on television. They were taught that it's illegal to say something, on television, that is incorrect. But it's the furthest thing from the truth. It truly is. Yeah, I got some silver here. I'm just going over some of it. You know, love my silver. But I was looking for this little puppy here. Let's see if I can get an angle of that. See, it has some film over it, so it's not going to be so easy to show off. Yeah, I know. I need a haircut. I'm going to get one. Just give Rice Krispies treat recipe. You know what? I truly believe there needs to be some kind of corrective action in our country, in order to fix things to the ways of morality. I think our country is losing morality, and they are doing it. They are telling people you can be whatever you want, whatever sex, you can put your wick into anything that has a pulse, or dead for that matter. It doesn't matter because it's your right. And what they're attempting to do is actually break down society. And then society actually doesn't get smarter when its morality breaks down. It actually gets dumber. I don't need to go to school. When you get everything for free, why go to school? Why learn about the Bible? Why learn about anything? And what do you have? You have society that is more malleable, is controlled, and that is their goal. They can care less about homosexuality. They can care less about the LGBTABCDEFG. They can care less about them. They truly can. If they cared, they would get on a jet plane and go down to downtown LA, and they would pick everybody up out of those tents and provide them with a home in their own personal house. But no, they ignore those places. They won't even hold a convention there. God forbid Fox News shows you a little excerpt of those 10 cities. They go to places like the next one is in Detroit, where they know they're safe. They got their fellow liberals there living under control, under a trance, and they'll go. The next place will be a Democrat stronghold after, and that's all it'll be. The news media outlets that ask them questions will be from liberal news media outlets. They will never subject themselves to real questioning. People watch and they believe. It really is a sad state. Thank you. Appreciate it. Mia Baller. Thank you so much. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it really is. You're going to get everything for free. They don't tell you how. They never will tell you how. But I'm going to ask you something. You're going to get free health care. Trust me. Now, let me ask you a question. Will every employee within that hospital work for free? Will the lights stay on for free? Will the leasing of the hospital be given for free? Will the ambulance drivers work for free? Will gas be provided in the ambulance for free? So it's not free. But you're going to get it if you vote for me. First of all, I don't believe anybody who tells me you're going to get something for free, because it's never, their promises are never lived up. And if they are, there's some kind of bastardization of what they said on the podium. You will never get anything for free. You will get less and less and less. And the people who don't have nothing will get crumbs, all paid for by the people who go out working. You will never, ever, ever get anything for free. That is not how they control people. They control people by keeping everybody just a little bit hungry, by keeping prices just a little bit above your economic means. That's how they control you. And that's all it is and all it ever was. There's two types of people in this world. Ain't black and it ain't white, it ain't Jews, it ain't. There's only two types of people in this world. And you can break those two types down to sub-compartments, but there's only two types of people in this world, folks. People who control and the people who are under control. We are under control. I said this before in many videos. Since when do you hire a maid, a servant, and that maid makes more than you? These politicians say they're going to go work for you, very much like the maid or anybody else. We're working for you, yet they go into office and make more money than you. That's not serving me. That's how are you? How you're serving yourself? Why don't you work for minimum wage if you want to serve? You're providing me a service? You're not providing me nothing. I've never gotten anything from a politician. Never. Gotten anything from a politician? I've had to fight to keep hold of anything I've earned. Their jobs seem to be take what they can get from you and convince lobbyists to make laws to take more. Yeah, I'll give up on that wall idea as soon as the Vatican, because I think on the Vatican is they're against walls. They truly are. I'll give up on the wall as soon as the Vatican takes down their wall. I'm starting to believe there does need to be a purge. That movie is freaky, but I'm starting to believe. I don't condone it. I'm just wondering. I mean, so an African from Nigeria, an immigrant. I don't know if you're reading the news, and I don't know if they're sharing this with you. He's an African from Nigeria. He's an immigrant. Just murdered a college kid in Utah. Now, let me ask you a question. Let's forget about the crime for a second. You got somebody who came over from Nigeria, a little rowboat. I'm being funny now. But he comes on over, he steps onto our shorelands. We go up to him. Hey, welcome. Where would you like to live? I like to live with all the Mormons in Utah. Mm-mm. I've told you this again in many videos. These people are told or placed in areas where they want to change the voting demographics. I'm sorry. These liberals are placing immigrants in conservative communities in order to flip the votes. That's one main reason. That is one main reason why they are needed so badly here in the United States by liberals. I remember when I was serving in the Army, I was stationed at Fort Sam, Houston, Texas for a year or so. The entire state was conservative back then. Lord and behold, it's flipped. Much of Texas is flipped. Don't get me wrong, a lot of it is conservative. But I'll move somewhere it's conservative. 2 years go by, 3 years go by. It's flipped. Go move somewhere else. It's flipped. 2 years go by, flipped. You watch where they're moving them to, setting up communities. That's what's going on, folks. They need them for the votes. They don't care about them. They're enticing them. They're laying out cheese like rats, like rat traps. Come on in. Come on. Free stuff. Free health care. Come on in. Free Social Security. We'll just tell you where to go. We got a good place for you here and there. That's what's going on. I'm not a racist. And I want immigrants to come here. I really do. I think there needs, first of all, when I was a kid, immigrants had to do a blood test, make sure there was no diseases. Hear about diseases popping up all over the place now, mumps and stuff. Some of the stuff we pretty much, smashed down. They're starting to pop up again. No longer does a person need to do a blood test when coming into this country. Just come on in. We'll put you right into a public school. We don't care. The kids go home sick. We don't care. It's their right. Another question that needs to be asked is, what can you do? How can you sustain yourself here? What can you provide yourself? These are not important questions anymore. We'll just give you free stuff. Here's the piece of paper. I just want to let you know. Here's your little envelope with all your benefits, and inside will tell you where your benefits came from. That'd be the Democrat Socialist Party. Just make sure you keep voting them, and that way we'll keep you here. You don't have to go back to Somalia or where the hell you came from. Just remember this, okay? It's the Democrats. Nothing is free, folks. I've mentioned this before. You so much as raise electricity in a business, they have to raise the prices of the products they sell. You mandate by law that minimum wage goes up. They have to raise the prices of the products they sell. So when Obama says, I am not going to raise your taxes, and because the rich man has been keeping you down, we're going to raise his taxes. We're going to raise taxes on his business. He's really raising your taxes, and he knows this. The mechanics of business is to roll down the cost of doing business to the products that is being sold. If you cannot make enough profit with the product that you're selling, the business folds and collapses, goes out of business. Big sign on the window, out of business. That's how it works. That's how business works. It's a double-edged sword. Not a lot of people like the rich. But I'll tell you what, if you're working, you can thank that rich person that you hate that you hate. They put up the money. They should make more money than you. And once you decide that the rich person should be punished, that line in the sand is constantly changing. And one day they deem you as rich because you have more than the immigrant that came in. And then they'll hang you. I hate this idea that rich people are bad. No, they came up with the idea. They came up with the investment. They got the storefront built or wherever the hell they built, and they put it all together so you can have a job. Maybe every rich person should leave the United States, go live on an island. What would you do? I'm going to go start a business. Well, you haven't so far. All of a sudden, you're going to start a business? You haven't so far. I'm to blame also. I'm going to start a business? I don't know how to start a business from Adam. But, I'm going to do it once they leave. No, I always say this. You know what? You hate rich people so much. Get a job from a poor person. Tell me how that works out for you. Get a job from a poor person. Come payday. Let me know how that works out for you and your family. Just saying. There's always going to be rich, and there's always going to be poor, and there's always going to be middle class. And in a way, that's a good system. You look up to the rich and aspire to be them one day. If we're all the same, we don't have nothing to look up to. We don't have a goal. Hey, we're all the same. We all drive around in a rusted Pinto. 1976 Pintos. Yeah. For you folks who don't know what a Pinto is, it's a very old car that they stopped making a long time ago. Some of you guys are, if everybody makes 20 bucks an hour, society would collapse. It truly would. Think about this. We go to college to make 20, 25 bucks an hour. Let's just say it's mandated that all employees are paid 25 bucks an hour. Why go to school if I'm bored and I make 25 bucks an hour? Why go to school? Why go to school to be a doctor? I can just make 25 bucks an hour and take the easy way out and flip burgers. Why go to school to be a doctor? What will happen to society if people stop going to school because they've already making that money? There's nothing to strive for. No new meds, no inventions, no. Society would collapse upon itself. There needs to be you have to scratch to survive. Society only the strong survive. But if everything is given to you, society will collapse. Tony Greena, poor folks, that was my joke. Poor folks can never give you a job. And if they did, they would skip town the day before payday, is my point. There always is inequality and there needs to be inequality. We all have the same opportunity, and opportunity and equality are different. We shouldn't be equal. You might work harder than me. Why should we be equal if you're working harder than me? I have the opportunity to be equal with you. The government would like to have you think the opposite. We are all born to be equal. Absolutely not. You need to work for what you want. And that's the problem. People are being sold a bill of goods. Vote for me and everything is free. And if you're not driving the Mercedes like your next door neighbor is, it's his fault. Not yours for sitting on your ass playing your PlayStation 4. It's his fault. It's the rich man's fault. Be careful, that line in the sand is constantly changing. Now Bernie doesn't want to tax just the rich. And if you were listening last night, he wants to tax the middle class now. That line in the sand has moved. He wants to tax the middle class. Google it. Bernie tax middle class. He said it last night, plain as day. I'm not mincing words. Pretty soon, you, the worker, you'll have nothing. And these rich people will now be the unemployed people because they get everything. They'll be the ones driving around in Mercedes and not even have to work a day in their lives, because I don't think it's going to come to a reality. I don't think it's possible to give everybody free stuff. It's like people pulling the cart, a cart, pulling with a rope, a cart, a wooden cart. You got a bunch of people pulling the cart. Those are your workers. You got one person who is unable to, handicapped, legitimately handicapped, being pulled in the cart also. Pretty soon, you got a bunch of people just don't feel like doing it. They want to jump in the cart too, and they lie. Oh, I just can't do it anymore. And Social Security, and I got post-traumatic stress disorder. Just can't work. I need a safety space. I need an animal. They jump in the cart. Pretty soon, more and more people are getting in the cart, and less people are pulling the cart. Not only less and less people pulling the cart, it's getting more difficult because their numbers are fewer as more get into the cart. That is what's going on here. That is what is going on in our world. So, as you and I, the workers, we get fed up and quit and say, screw it. I don't got a paycheck left. What's the sense of going to work if there's not even enough to pay my bills? Screw it. We'll get on the cart. And how do you think? What do you think is going to happen to society when everybody decides to quit working? We'll all get crumbs. And then we'll be provided with jobs that we must attend to in order to survive for those crumbs. And it'll be just like your typical science fiction movie. Your crumbs will be taken away. Your oxygen will be turned off. Your electricity and water will be turned off. You'll become a slave, and that's part of this freedom. I don't mean freedom, I mean free stuff. That's part of this whole free thing, is to turn everybody into a slave. I hope people are learning, man, when they're watching these clowns on the stage. I hope people are seeing and have street smarts to digest what they're hearing. You know what I mean by street smarts? To look at somebody, talk to somebody for a few minutes, and pretty much know the con. That's what I mean by street smarts. Anybody who grew up in the city knows what I'm talking about. All right, I think we've heard enough of that. City Folk Guardian in the house, Nicholas Poland, Ben Graham, just give Rice Krispies treat. We already talked about you. Jersey Cal in the house, thank you, Caitlin Smiles. Here's the question. Do you know who has announced they are running for a Republican Party besides Trump? No, I don't, and I don't care, because I guarantee you, whoever's running, they're just running to get rid of Trump. They are part of the problem. Just because you're a Republican doesn't mean you're not part of that shadow government or that anti-Trump. You got a lot of Republicans that are as liberal as Democrats. They're called, what do they call them? Rhinos? They're really not conservative. They're Republican, but they're not conservative. So any Republican that is running, I don't trust them one iota. They're just trying to dethrone Trump. Pumpkin Face, haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? I'm doing very well. Michael Witt, hey, on text, what do you think about all the Dems being in agreement on not enforcing immigration? Again, if you have street smarts, you should be able to see this. No immigration. That means there needs to be expectations on how they are fed and housed. So by not having any walls, any laws, that means technically we are responsible now to feed Mexico. We're just the kitchen. They come, they eat, maybe sleep a few nights or a year or two, whatever the hell they want or do. Now they're saying we're responsible for Mexico, and not just Mexico, anybody who comes through Mexico, anybody who comes through our northern border through Canada. And how hard would it be to sneak into Canada from other countries? How hard is it to sneak into Mexico from other countries? What they're doing is saying you, the working people, you are responsible. You are responsible for feeding them. We don't care how little money you make. You will be taxed and you will pay for them. You will give them health care. You will house them. You will give them a cell phone and free diapers. You. We don't care if we tax you to a point where you get evicted from your home and need to go scratch and claw at the welfare line. We don't care is what they're saying. Nothing is free. I said it before. I always love to use the healthcare, or even we'll just do the college. Free college for all. Will the professors work for free? Probably not. Will the janitors work for free? Probably not. And I can go on and on and on. So who's paying for it? Somebody's paying, they're not coming to teach. It's just a matter of common sense if you dissect what they're saying. Good question. Oh, I love these questions. Trump will build a wall and make Mexico pay for it. Democrats, we will give liberals health care and we will pay for it. JRW3, Caitlin, Trump is the incumbent. Trump clean sweeps, I hope so. Dennis the Menace, thank you. Mil Spec Pratt, Stacker in the house. Have to be involved in local politics. It's essential. They have more impact in your day. That's true. That is true. What do you think of the universal income proposal, 1K per month? What would that do to our currency and prices of goods and services? Who pays? Where does the 1K per month? We just need to break it down again. Where does the 1K per month come from for everybody? And another question, if you're currently working, do you also get a 1K? Or is it only going to the people who don't work? Where does government get their money? Where does government get 100% of their money? Tick tock, tick tock. You get it from the taxpayers, folks. Who are the taxpayers? The people who earn a paycheck. To walk into a store and buy some groceries. First of all, in a lot of places, groceries are tax-free. Did you know that? Who pays for it? It's the taxpayers. And now the second question is, do the working people get that 1K? Irrelevant. The working people have to pay for it. It means it's coming out of their taxes. So let's just say this. Let's just say, and I'm just rounding numbers, but the numbers are damn close. Let's just hypothetically say there's a 50% unemployment rate. I don't think it is. That means you would be responsible to provide goods and services for one other person. If it's mandated by law, free this, free that, and 1,000K, I think unemployment rate is somewhere right around 2.5%, 3%. I don't know what it is. I'm just trying to give you an idea. And then when we open up the doors from Mexico, no borders, then it will be 50%. That's why I do that 50% out there. You open up both borders, no matter where they come from, and they're little rowboats. Oh, you got it. You got free. You didn't put it into the system, but you got it for free. And then you got politicians on stage last night saying, "Oh, but they pay taxes. They go and buy their groceries." No, they don't pay their taxes. But they pay, yeah, they pay their taxes. They go buy lumber or something from Home Depot. They pay their taxes. Those taxes do not go towards healthcare. Even sales taxes do not go to healthcare. Sales taxes normally go to the local government, street schools, blah, 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 blah. Your health taxes and whatnot come out of your paycheck, federal taxes. There are other taxes in your paycheck. They're brainwashing people, and the news is not correct them. Oh no, you're making a mistake. No, the news is agreeing with them. I wouldn't want $1,000K per month. Not when it has to be paid by me anyway. You got to be suspicious of people who want to give you free stuff. Come on, man. We're living in a world where you should be very skeptical of anybody offering you free stuff. And here we're going to listen to politicians offer us free stuff. It's an enticement. The devil at work. It's an enticement into slavery. It truly is. I'm just saying hello to a few people. Stacking Kid, Tony Green, Couch Potatoes. Yes, I still love my silver. Did you see dollar to silver ratio went from 592 to 643? No, I did not. Thank you for the information. Plum Turtle in the house. Let's see. Tony Green, I mentioned you. And Biden's getting his ass kicked. I don't like Biden either, but it's so funny. But the news will lead you to believe he's the top runner. He's the top runner. We took polls, and our polls were correct during the Clinton, fiasco. All our polls, she was going to win. All the polls are telling us that Biden's the top man. No, the news outlets pick who the next president is going to be if they can. When people say the rich steal from us, I always ask, how much can I make before I'm stealing from somebody? Yeah, it's always somebody stealing from you. They're not stealing. The rich have never stolen anything from you. They play this divide and conquer. The rich are holding you down. No, I never had a rich man hold me down, and neither have you. You walked into that storefront. You walked into that business. And you asked them, do you have a job? And they said, yes, I do. And it pays X, Y, and Z. And they've been holding that contract with you, and you've been getting X, Y, and Z every payday. They've never stolen from you. You agreed to it. The people that have been holding you down are politicians. In disguise, they tell you it's the rich man. They throw attention away. They don't know it's us. It's the politicians. Your servants. Again, when's the last time your servants made more than you? They are not your servants. Since when have you hired somebody and they make more money than you? Oh, we're working for you. Send us to office. We're working for you. We're your servants. No. You're not my servant. Never were my servant. You're your own servant. I have my own business. I have 0 employees, but I can't afford. Okay, that's Firecrest. Thanks for being in the house. John said lack. If we were all the same, we are all equally poor. No, we're not equally poor. Some of us have a little bit more than others. But in all honesty, whatever we have and whatever we don't have is our own fault. We cannot be led to believe that because I don't have a Mercedes, or there might be a little rust on my car, it's somebody else's fault. It's our own fault for not working hard enough, for not getting a good enough education to excel. It's not the rich man's fault. Not at all. Singapore, Shawaludin. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that name. Twisted clown. They treat adults like children here, have these things for free. I mentioned this before, and just in a recent video, it used to be a day when you would go to a business and apply for a job, because that's what running for office is. You're applying for a job. You'd have this resume, and you'd give the resume, and they would say, overtaxed taxpayer, I see you, I see in your community you reduced crime by 7% in the course of a couple of years. Your resume also says you are able to do X, Y, and Z for your community. No longer is that the case. You listen to them. They're no longer saying what I have done to deserve this position. No longer are they doing that. It's what I can give you. And letting you know that everybody's your enemy. Everybody is against you. Trump is the monster. This economy is not working for you. It's all this scare and what they're going to do, and they're going to take away guns. Folks, there's no such thing as a utopia, and that's what they're promising. A utopia where everybody gets along and nobody has more than the other person. Impossible. Completely impossible what they are promising. They're no longer applying for a job with a resume. No longer are they bragging about what they have done and why they deserve the job. It's what we're gonna do for you if you vote for us. Well, you've been in fucking office for, excuse my language, I apologize. You've been in office, I do apologize, that came out wrong. You've been in office a long damn time. And none of that stuff that you've been promising has come to light. Now, all of a sudden, if you're president, it's going to happen. Now, all of a sudden, it's going to happen. Biden promised to cure cancer, but all you need to do is vote for him. So what you're saying, Biden, is if we don't vote for you, you won't even try to cure cancer? Huh. How long has Biden been in politics? Everything that they're providing, I mean, they're promising. They haven't not been able to do so far. And you got to remember something. Just because you're a president doesn't mean you get your way. You got Congress and the Senate that have to vote upon it and approve it. We all know just because you're president doesn't mean you make law. Congress makes the law. Senate approves it. President just signs off on it, yay or nay. So what they're promising is a bunch of hogwash. Can't be done. And I know I oversimplified that. Yeah, Silver Wolverine in the house, thanks. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull out at the very last moment. They don't want you to dig up any dirt on them. That's why they pull them out the last moment. Just know this. Why they keep them a secret, so you don't bother pulling any opposition research on it. Oh, isn't that illegal now? Oh, to research your opponent, that's illegal now, I guess. I wouldn't doubt it if they pull out Mrs. Obama, the very last, down the road, pull her out. Maybe even Clinton, pull her out. She has no chance. But this is how they play. They don't want you to have any time to do any investigations on them. Larry 5200, exactly. No one cared about anything until Trump was elected. Now, kumbaya, everything is, we're going to fix everything. And it's all Trump's fault that there's homeless and this and that. It's all Trump's fault. They can't even clean up the hypodermic needles in California, San Francisco, LA. They can't even do that. They can't even clean up the homeless tent cities that I personally witnessed. How are they going to do all these wonderful things that they're promising that are much grander on a scale? Think about it. 110 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona today. I think it was about 105 degrees here in Tucson. $106. Yeah, I appreciate if everybody just gives me a thumbs up. I'm working my ass off here. Give me a thumbs up. It's not like I'm asking to borrow your freaking lawnmower that you'll never get back. You ever have a freaking family member borrow a freaking tool and you never get it back? Bothers the shit out of me. I got some relatives that when they come over, I lock all my toolboxes up. I kid you not. Everything gets locked up. I find family members to be the most notorious. They truly are. A friend tries to stay a friend. A family member, they think blood is thicker than water, and they'll take advantage of that. Well, you owe me, blood's thicker than water. Tyrone, I went to California, as you know. I go there quite often for business and every now and then a vacation. I witness these 10 cities firsthand. I go down the freeways and they're over the overpasses too. It's getting worse and worse. They can't even fix that. But I can guarantee you, every one of them does not know they've been subjected to that by politicians. Every one of them thinks it's the rich man. They look down at the Ferraris and the limos and the fancy cars down the overpass in California and think it's their fault. Every one of them, he's driving a Honda 94, he's got more than me, it's his fault. Every one of them does not realize their own politicians put them in there. And every one of them will revote that same political party back in. Every one of them. Programmed. They say zombies don't exist in the real world, only in television. Oh no, take a walk through any super Walmart. Oh, they're there. Communities full of zombies. Communities, complete quadrants of cities that are reliant on welfare. I'm not talking a house here and there. Quadrants, sectors of cities that exist on welfare. I have to tell you, by driving through Tucson, Arizona, I have to say it's got to be easily 1/4 that you can drive through and see. Just looking at their homes and the vehicles out front. From the freeway, you can see these locales. 1/4 is my estimate. $50. Most of those tent city are junkies. I'm willing to agree with that because there's hypodermic needles all over the damn place. Firecrest, thank you so much. Trump 2020. I didn't see that. That went right by me. Normally there's a big color thing that goes by me. I didn't see it this time. Thank you. All right, so I'm done with the politics. Let's talk silver. So silver was up a little bit, nothing to brag about. And I got a little package in the mail. Somebody sent a little token of their appreciation. Now I'm moving it around because the lighting in here sucks. And it's a Rembrandt. Very difficult for me to get this thing to focus. First of all, it's covered with a plastic. So all I can do is just pull it out this far, and hopefully you can dissect what it is. Maybe look it up on Google. I really appreciate it. Are you guys still stacking silver? Are you giving up on it? What's going on? Because I'm not hearing a lot out there, a lot of chatter about silver. Yeah, I'm still into cryptos. I made some money. I made a couple of bucks, nothing to brag about, but it proves that it can be done. I can't say that about the stock market. I made more money this week and last week on cryptos than I made in my 401k plan, which is really the stock market. 20-ouncer Engelhart by Tyrone. Got the New America, the beautiful Guam bar. These are really nice. Tax rate was 70% in the 50s. According to Brocahantis. Let's take a look at that. He could be right. I'm not going to argue with him. I don't know everything. I'm Googling that right now. Tax rate in 1950s. Got to give the guy a fair shake. He might be right. The top federal income tax, that's the top, that was the rates. Saying, I wish I could turn on the screen here so you could see this, that I'm not lying. Oops, no. No, I don't. Hold on. Let's see, Tax Foundation. Let's go there. According to this, there is a common misconception that the high-income Americans were not paying much in taxes compared to what they used to. Proponents of this view often point to the 1950s when the top federal income tax rate, I need to read that one more time, when the top federal income tax rate was 91%. However, despite these high marginal rates, the top 1% of taxpayers in the 1950s only paid about 42% of their income. All right, so the guy is right, but that was to build infrastructure. We already have infrastructure, but your point is we should all pay 91%. So when does it become slavery? Because they fought their way from that. So I'm asking you, when does it become slavery? When are you considered a slave? When your paycheck only has 7% of what you worked for? When your paycheck, maybe we should just tax everybody 95% of what they work and they can only take home 5%. What is enough for you and the liberals? Tick tock, tick. When is it enough? I don't know. I don't have the answer. I already feel like a slave and I'm taxed 30%, if not more. How about everybody in America pay the same rate all the time? Well, I'm going to agree with you again, Brocahantis. Everybody should pay the same rate, percentage rate, not the same amount. Everybody should pay the same percentage rate. I agree with that. I'm giving you that. That, unfortunately, I need to do a little bit more research before I open up my mouth. I'm agreeing with you, but percentage, we should all be paying the same percentage. And I'm going to agree with you with the flat tax too. I believe it should be 30%. I mean, a flat tax. I have no problem with what you're saying. I'm also agreeing with Lord Humongous, but I don't want to use that word that he's using. That get the Fed knocking on my door. I'm agreeing with you, Lord. Oh shit! I can't use. There's certain words I can't say or admit to agreeing with. Get a knock on the door. Are you Mr. Overtaxed taxpayer? Would you mind stepping outside? We have a warrant to search the premises. Anyway, I had fun. Every now and then I like to do videos where I just bitch. I bitch about our government. I bitch about our political system. I bitch about politicians. It needs to be done. As you folks know, I am a big proponent of stacking silver. I really am. You've seen some of my stacking videos. But we got to know why how do I say this? We're all preppers. We're all prepping financially. This is a form of prepping. Which, whether you think you're a prepper or not, you're closer to a prepper than you think. If you're stacking gold and silver, you're a prepper. Now the question is, why are you a prepper? And every now and then we need to hear the bullshit and be reminded why we're preppers. And that's why I like to talk about politics every now and then. And I get a lot of hate. I'm looking at the text. I get a lot of hate comments, as you see, when I do. And I actually see a lot of people unsubscribe from me when I do. But we got to know why we're prepping. We got to be reminded why. And in my opinion, it is by far a good way of motivating each other. That is all it's for. It's hopefully to get you motivated to buy more silver and just keep buying it. That's a buffalo right there. You know, one time I had a buffalo burger in Colorado on a ski trip. It's pretty damn good. They mixed it with some beef because they said it was too lean to cook by itself. So what they do is they mix a little quality ground beef in with the buffalo ground beef to give it a little fat. And it was very tasty. I recommend you guys, if anybody's ever around where they sell buffalo burgers, get one. Show some gold, but unfortunately, the awakening, I don't have much gold to brag about. I have, I think, 3 or 4 1/10 ounce coins. They're kind of hard to hold in my big hands, too. What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Bigots cannot be patriots in a nation of equality. I must have missed something. Whataburger in Texas. I just had them. I didn't know Whataburger in Texas sells buffalo burgers. I actually like Whataburger. I do. Equality is a lie by Tyrone. I agree with you. There's no such thing as equality. We all start out equal. And where and how far we go through life is our own. It's not on somebody else. We are all born equal. It is from that moment on, there is no equality. I need some water. There is no equality because of decisions that each person makes. Their decisions. Each person makes that make outcomes of other people's decisions. And it just you go through life and each person has a different outcome. You can go back year after year, century after century. There was no such thing as equality. There really wasn't. And I just pray that people wake up and understand that. From the moment we are born, we make a decision We have a thought that leads us in a different path. The people we meet influence our equality or inequality. So you would love to buy this R2D2 from me. Where did I buy that? All right, I'm going to tell you. First of all, it does move. Hold on a second. You can buy this online at various locations. Just type in R2D2 toy robot. It's not too difficult. I personally got this one at Disney World in downtown Disney Springs. That's outside of Disney World, but they call it Disney Springs. For you Californians, it's kind of like your downtown Disney. But this can be gotten, I think, even at Walmart. It's no big deal. Now, this is a sideshow collectible. Look those puppies up. That's a bust of Iron Man, one of the I don't recall him ever having the triangle, but he's heavy. Sideshow Collectibles sells those. They're big bucks, though. I would love to get a Sideshow Collectible Superman, but I can't afford that. $300. $300. R2, shut up. I want to go back and do it over, but I can't go back. I know. Eddie Money. Just right. Just skip over the fact that he made a bigoted statement. I made a bigoted statement. Who made a bigoted statement? And what was the statement? If it was me, what was the statement? So I can explain myself. Your mod. Okay. Well, I can't control that. He's a good guy. Hey, what's his name? What is this guy's name? Give the guy a break. Brocahontas. everybody, no, we're all human. We all make mistakes. So I don't know, and I don't want to know his comment, but I'd love to shove that R2D2 up my ex-wife's, okay? So, Beat Detective. Wow, your timing is impeccable. I've been watching the old Archie Bunker, All in the Family. Holy crap, love them. That show would never exist today. People would never even understand. Would never understand it. And if you remember Beat Detective, the Jeffersons, same scheme, the Jeffersons. And what was that other one where they were in the junkyard, Sanford and Son? This goes to prove to you what politicians have done to us today. We can live with the humor yesteryear. We can watch it and learn from it and understand it yesteryear. But our politicians programmed with the use of schools how bad that humor was. Folks, I got to tell you something. If you never watched an Archie Bunker, no, All in the Family, look up All in the Family on YouTube and watch a couple of episodes. Now, I know a lot of you folks have seen All in the Family, but take a look at some of them again and compare that to what we're living in today. You can rest assured, equal time go by again, maybe another 10, 15 years. You won't even be able to say green t-shirt or white Fruit of the Looms. It'll be outlawed. Mark my words. Call this piece of paper white. You could be thrown in jail in maybe 10 or 15 years if we don't watch our shit. I watched Beat Detective. I was watching All in the Family last night. I kid you not. I watched about 3 episodes before my wife changed the channel and wanted to have her turn with the remote. freaking outrageous. And the episode, one of the episodes had Sammy Davis on it. MASH all the way, man. I love MASH. I love what the hell is his name? He made MASH. He, in my opinion, he made it. Oh God, the asshole. Not Alan. No, the asshole. Not Hawkeye. He was good too, but I thought the jerk, Frank Burns. Frank Burns made that. And when Frank Burns left, they got the other doc to replace him. He was also an asshole. But Frank Burns, Winchester, yes, man, I love you guys. You guys are smarter than me and should have your own goddamn YouTube channels. Frank Burns made that show. And then they replaced him with Winchester, which he was cool, but I like Frank Burns. Yeah, all the supporting cast like Klinger and Hawkeye and all of them, Hot Lips, they all made it a good, but at the core, it was Frank Burns. I'm sorry. Hey, Overtax, are you going to vote for Socialist Sanders? What do you think, Lord? What do you think, Mr. Humongous? You know me better than that. You've been following me a long time. Yeah, I'm voting Trump. He's the only source of freedom we got left. So if you're not voting for Trump, then you're voting for socialism. So he violates international every day at the border. He violates what international? Speaking in coherent sentences. He violates what at the border every day? He violates law at the border every day. What law did he violate? Give me a statute and a law. No, you're saying international law. He didn't violate shit. What law? Give me a statute that he violated. Give me a statute that we can look up. You know how I roll. I'll open up Google and prove you right or wrong. What did he break? I can care less whether he broke Mexico's law because Mexico has been breaking our law. They're not honoring our Constitution. Why should we honor theirs? We haven't broken any constitutional law, any international law. What international law did we break? What treaty did we break? And then I'll ask you another question. Did they break a treaty before we broke the treaty? Who broke the treaty first? Give me a minute. He wants a minute. There's a person who probably will vote for one of those Democrats. And it's sad. All they can do, he won't point out one thing that Obama broke. One thing Obama sent 1.9, what was it, $1.9 billion and paid off the Iranians? Won't mention that. The Federal Reserve was around before Trump, Lord Humongous, and you're going to blame Trump on that? Come on. Nathan Swolfs, thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. So, Rocahantas, you're going to vote for a socialist, huh? You don't think that Trump was a little bit better than Obama? Are you that blind? You want? First of all, I got to ask you, Pocahontas, are you employed? Do you even care if everybody's taxes go up and we have to pay for illegal aliens? Free health care, free this, free that? Do you even care? Do you not have any skin in the game? That's the only reason you can care or don't care is if you don't have any skin in the game. I'm giving you a fair shake, man. I even looked up the state the tax rate, and you know I'm an honest guy. You sell shipping containers for what country? And you're going to vote socialism. Yes or no? Are you voting for one of the Democrats? That's all I want to know now. Are you voting for one of the Democrats over Trump? You cannot admit that Trump is the lesser of the evil? I'm voting blue, yes. Okay, then you think the Democrats are worse than not are better than Trump. That's the problem here. You can't see how evil they are and what they're doing. You're voting blue. Nothing to talk about, man. I'm not going to convert you, obviously. You know, there's no sense in talking to you. I mean, anyway, folks, I'm going to go grab some dinner. It was fun. It's sad, though, that people will vote themselves into slavery. We have a prime example of somebody right now, Pocahontas, who will rather vote themselves into slavery, higher taxes, degradation of morality. Have more sexes. Yeah, we can have an LBGT, XYZ, ABCD. Yeah. And you'll have to pay for all the sex changes. That's fine with him, with these people. That's fine. Let them all in, no borders, no nothing. He sells shipping containers. Well, that's four walls. That's a metal four-wall container. Why do you need shipping containers? I'm curious. If there's no walls needed, surely you don't need walls to protect goods or anything. But giving things away for free, why protect them with shipping containers or boxes or tape or anything? Just fucking get some front end loaders and put it on a pile and just send it overseas. Why protect it? Why even accept money if everything should be for free? It's really sad. It truly is, you know. And anyway, I gotta go. I gotta grab some dinner. Take care, folks.